Hello everyone, welcome to another book haul. Most of these books are from Book Outlet. Some of them are for Amazon and Costco, but the majority are from Book Outlet. And I love to read any time of the year. Any time of the year is a good time to read. But there's something about the fall and those, like Halloween and just the colder temperatures, like a cold rainy night. There's something special about reading during the fall. Right now, I am starting Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is a sequel to The Ninth House. So I just started it just a little bit ago, and I make my own bookmarks. I've done a couple of videos on how to make a bookmark. I do seasonal ones too, like Halloween and winter and Easter and everything like that. So yeah, just getting started now. I may just look at some reviews just to kind of jog my brain about the Ninth House, because it was somewhat complex. So I might just jog my brain about what happened. But anyway, this is the indigo version, and I'm trying to remove this sticker. I hate the stickers that you can't remove, so I'm trying to remove that one. Usually you see this with a silver background, but the indigo one had this red background, which I really, really like. And that's the end paper there. So yeah, this is almost 500 pages, so might take me a little longer than usual. Alrighty, so I will start with Katrina Ward, and this is Raw Blood. Now I have read The Last House on Needless Street, and that's the only one I read of her. I do have another one, Sundial, I think it's called. I haven't read that one yet. And she has a new one out too that is getting really good reviews. So this is called Raw Blood, and this is chilling gothic novel. So I guess this takes place, follows a family over a century from Victorian England to World War I. And for generations, people in the family have died young. And 15-year-old Iris and her father are the last of the Villarca line. So they are confined to their lonely mansion on Dartmoor. They suffer their disease in isolation, but Iris breaks her promise to hide from the world and dares to fall in love. And then she finds out what's really behind this Villarca curse kind of thing. So sounds spooky. And this is Secrets of the Sea House by Elizabeth Gifford. And this one takes place in Scotland in 1860. Anything that takes place in Wales, Scotland, Ireland, England, especially in the past, like historical novels, I just eat those up. And I'm actually going to Scotland in September. So yeah, I'm going to take some of these Scottish books with me. This reverend takes up his new parish on the island off of Scotland, and his time on the island will change the course of his life. More than a century later, Ruth and Michael buy the dilapidated building, and their family home is marred by a shocking discovery. The bones of a baby are buried beneath the house, and the legs are fused together. It's like a mermaid child who buried the bones, and why. So yeah, sounds like a creepy little mystery there. And then something a little more lighthearted. This is called The Littlest Library. So I'm very tempted to get my husband to build me a little library on our front lawn so people can exchange books. That's kind of my dream. I would really like to do that. But this woman, her beloved grandmother passes away and she loses her job, so she moves to a tiny cottage in a charming country village, and then she's inherited this old English red telephone booth, and she turns it into a little library, and then it sort of brings all the villagers together in that. So that sounded just like a very sweet read. And this is called The House of Footsteps by Matthew West. I love the cover. This takes place in 1923. Thistle Crook House is a forbidding house on the Scottish border. And there's rumors about the Mordrake family who lives there. And then this gentleman called Simon gets a job cataloging the infamous art collection housed in Thistle Crook. But yeah, when he gets there, there's just really strange things start to happen, and all these old secrets are stirred up. So that sounds really good. Now, Sharon Bolton, I read one of her books years ago, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was, but I remember really liking it, and these ones got very good reviews on Goodreads. And the first one is The Craftsman. And so there's this police officer who years ago put this fellow in prison. He was a convicted serial killer. He was a child murderer. Yes, 30 years ago. So she ended up capturing this fellow. But now he's dead, but things are starting to happen again. And this is the sequel, The Buried. So yeah, I've heard very good things about these two books. And this is Cunning Woman by Elizabeth Lee. And yeah, I love anything about kind of witchy kind of books. Now, back in the medieval times, there's certain women in the village who were very good at healing with herbs and how to look after certain conditions, and they were like midwives and that. And they're called cunning women because they were able to have the knowledge of herbs and how to look after people when they're ill. But unfortunately, at times they were used as scapegoats, and they were called witches. So this one actually takes place in Lancashire, where there were the Pendle witch trials. That was quite infamous. So yeah, I really do. I just love the cover. Look at the little gold foil there, shining away there. So yeah, I'm just fascinated by medieval times and how these women were used as scapegoats when things went wrong. And this is a really creepy cover. This is The Guest House by Robin Morgan Bentley. And Jane and Victoria are expecting their first baby, so they head off for a weekend break at this remote part of the northern Pennines. I'm not sure where, is that England, Scotland? I'm not sure. There's a small and peaceful guest house so they can kind of unwind before they become parents. So they're greeted by the host, an older couple who run the guest house, but the next morning their hosts are gone. Their mobile phones and cars have disappeared. So yeah, that sounds a little spooky. I did get this at Costco, and this is The Other Side of Mrs. Wood by Lucy Barker. So back in Victorian times, seances and like the paranormal, that sort of thing was very popular. And this takes place in England in 1873. So Mrs. Wood is one of the most celebrated mediums. There's a lot of people out to show that these people were fake, but she was able to kind of avoid that. And then some patrons have recently canceled their appointments. Anyway, I think there's she takes on this young protege. Yeah, it doesn't really, I don't know if there's a murder, what goes on, but yeah, it's kind of a fascinating time period there. So yeah, it's kind of about the seances and the mediums that were so popular at the time. Alrighty, this is The Fair Botanist. Now this has got very good reviews on Goodreads, so I decided to pick it up from Book Outlet. And this is The Fair Botanist by Sarah Sheridan. And so it's 1822, and Edinburgh is abuzz with rumors of King George IV's impending visit, and there's a newly widowed Elizabeth arrives in Edinburgh with her late husband's Aunt Clementine, who's so she settles into this new house. She becomes fascinated by the botanic gardens and that sort of thing. Yeah, it's quite a long description here anyhow, but yeah, Edinburgh 1800s. I'm all over it. And let's see. This is The Last of the Moon Girls by Barbara Davis. Now, I haven't read any of her novels before. Lizzie Moon never wanted Moon Girl Farms. 8 years ago she left the land that 9 generations of gifted healers had tended, determined to distance herself from the whispers about her family's strange legacy. So anyway, yeah, the family has special gifts which has been passed down from generation to generation. And now this one is actually, I thought it was nonfiction, but it's fiction. It's Medieval Woman, Village Life in the Middle Ages. And again, if you watch me long enough, I'm just fascinated by medieval times. I just love history. So this actually follows a year in the life of a peasant woman in medieval England, and just their day-to-day struggles. And that's what kind of fascinates me, is just how their day-to-day life is, what they ate, how they, what medicines they used, just their everyday life. I'm just fascinated by. So yeah, I definitely had to pick that one up. And then yeah, I do once in a while need a brain palate cleanse after some of these heavy duty books. And this is by Ali McNamara, Kate and Claire's Curious Cornish Craft Shop. There is a Cornish town called St. Felix, and Kate opens a craft shop there in this little harbor town, and she finds a mystery that lingers in her new shop, a 60-year-old love story told through beautiful paintings and intricate embroideries. So yeah, I sometimes just need something light. Now, I did read the All Souls trilogy, and that, this witches, the witch married the vampire and all that stuff. If you read that, yeah, I actually really did enjoy that series. And this is the actual 4th book by Deborah Harkness, a Times Convert. So this follows Marcus, who is a friend of Matthew de Claremont, is it? Yeah, I think it was Matthew was the other vampire. So it follows his kind of journey over the years. Alrighty, this is Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim, and I just love the cover. I think that's just absolutely stunning. So I believe this is YA fiction. In the hidden desert city of Kalea, secret spice magic awakens affinities in those who drink the Misra tea. Yeah, I mean, there is just a huge synopsis here, so I'm not going to go over it at all. But yeah, it sounds like a fantasy kind of novel. But yeah, I just absolutely loved that cover. Alrighty, this is The Girl Behind the Gates by Brenda Davies. And this one, it takes place in 1939. So 17-year-old Nora has spent her life secure in the certainty of a bright, happy future until one night a passion has catastrophic consequences for her. So she's labeled a moral defective and sectioned under the Mental Deficiency Act. So she's forced to endure years of unspeakable cruelty at the hands of those who are supposed to care for her. And then in 1981, so it's 40 years later, the psychiatrist comes across Nora, who is still institutionalized after 40 years. So anyway, yeah, that sounds, it's just amazing what people had to survive through in those days. And this one, oh, this is The Dance Tree by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. So years ago in, is it Austria, Strasbourg? There was this woman started, and this is based on a true story, where this woman started dancing in this like town square, and then all these other people started joining her, and they all kept dancing till they virtually collapsed. The Puppet History by the Watcher channel, they did a little thing on it, and yeah, this is kind of based on that, I think it follows this one woman and her family and kind of what happens around this event. Okay, what's next? This is Frances Harding, Skinful of Shadows. So I was watching Meg with Books, and Megan's hilarious. She read this book and absolutely loved it. So I think it's it's YA, but I think it's a little, maybe not young adults, maybe like what they call, was it new adult? I don't know. But she really, really enjoyed this. So it's kind of a weird synopsis. I won't go through all of it, but I do have some of her books here. Actually, I just got this off of Book Outlet on Rabbler. She just has beautiful, beautiful covers. This is Deep Light. So yeah, they've all gotten really good reviews. They're supposed to be really, really good books. So yeah, they're kind of weird, dark fairy tale kind of books, but she really, really liked this one. So, and then she also read The Rook. She was given this suggestion from another booktuber, and yeah, she gave this a 5-star by Daniel O'Malley, and it's like a cute little spine there. It's a fantasy. Thomas wakes in a London park surrounded by dead bodies. With her memory gone, she must trust the instructions left by her former self in order to survive. She's a Rook, which is a high-level operative in a secret agency that protects the world from supernatural threats. But yeah, it's supposed to be really, really good. So it's kind of a vague, weird summary, but I'm going to go for it. And I bought these couple of cozy mysteries. Which one was first now? I think this is the first one. Lady Takes a Case. The first in the Manor Cat mysteries. Sometimes I just like a cozy little mystery. It takes place in England in 1912. Danby Hall is the only home Lady Cecilia Bates has ever known. But yeah, there is a murder, I believe. So yeah, it's kind of like a Downton Abbey kind of mystery. And then the second book is Lady Rights Wrong. So yeah, I thought I would just get these kind of lightweight, cozy mysteries. Now this one really sounded so good. This is The Cape Doctor by E.J. Levy. So this is actually based on a true story. So beginning in Cork, Ireland, so there was this woman who wanted to enter medical school, so she disguised herself as a man in that and graduated, and he actually became a very, very well-known, famous doctor. And then it wasn't till he died, I believe. No. He was publicly accused of having a homosexual affair that scandalized the colonies. But he wasn't homosexual because he's actually a woman in that. So, Yeah, it's based on the real life story of Dr. James Miranda Barry. So I guess this is just kind of based on that, but oh, sounds really, really good. Alrighty, and this is the last one, is by Katie Welsh, The Wages of Sin. So this is kind of a medical history, and yeah, being a retired nurse, I love anything medical, anything historical. So Edinburgh again, 1892. In 1892, the back streets of Edinburgh are rife with disease. Sarah's journey into medicine has been checkered. Yeah, the male students don't really accept her coming into there. And then she discovers the battered corpse of one of her patients in the dissecting rooms. And it's a thrilling tale of murder and a brilliant evocation of the murky underworld of 1890s Edinburgh. So yeah, I just eat that stuff up. Love it. Alrighty, so yeah, that's it. That's about all the books I'll show you for now. Yeah, I have many more that I haven't shown you that I have, like I said, have kind of collected over the past year or so. But we're getting there. So yeah, I wish I could read like 10 books a week to get caught up. But anyway, I can only read so fast. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some good ideas for some fall reading. And so everyone take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.